All right, welcome to another exciting edition of the program Talk Sport on Global Television. We'll be giving you all the big stories making the round in the exciting world of sport. The Olympics still on, and Nigeria still waiting to start hauling in the medals already. We know that the table tennis team has not done so well, but the Tigress were superb yesterday as they were able to win by a very large margin, talking about 20 points difference against their opponent, Australia, a very big team when it comes to basketball. So it tells you not so bad for Nigeria in terms of the Olympics taking place 2024. All right, we'll be looking at the transfer market as we look at all the big stories, players moving from one club to the other. We'll be looking at Adaramoye Bioye, a Nigerian who played for Fulham, now moving to Chelsea. We'll be looking at what the future holds for him, and also Manchester United in the market trying to get players into their fold. Just last night, Arsenal did confirm the signing of Calafiori, which means Arsenal getting ready for the new season. I have one man behind the scene who is punching the air. He is an Arsenal fan, talking about what he's saying. Yes, this time the Gunners are going to get it right. Time will tell. And one man who has the honors of doing the analysis would confirm if Arsenal is going to win this season or not, talking about Samuel Odi. These and other big stories is what we'll be sharing after this quick break. Stay with us.
Frankly speaking, it is now time for Nigeria to see that Global TV has come and has come to stay.
Just 1 year. This is a plus for Global Television.
My take on Global TV presence on DSTV, first of all, I must say is a great feat. And in this new age, it takes technology to take over.
I believe that Global TV coming into the arena will change the context of international broadcasting in Nigeria.
But I believe that Global TV has come not just to give us anything but the truth and the valued information that we need at hand.
I think Global TV presence will make a very great difference among all other channels. Their presence now on DSTV stations is going to make a very lot of difference among others.
Really believe with the pedigree and the reputation Global TV has gathered for themselves for the last 1 year of their being.
All right, welcome back. Let's begin with the Olympics, where the Olympic men's triathlon was postponed just hours before it was due to get underway on Tuesday after the last ditch water quality test in the river Seine revealed unhealthy pollution levels. Organizers had said in a blow to Olympic officials who have repeatedly vowed that the Seine would be safe for the athletes to swim in. Organizers said the men's event would be delayed by 24 hours and take place immediately after the women's race on Wednesday. A joint statement from the Paris 2024 and the World Triathlon blamed the excessive pollution on the heavy rain that deluged the French capital on Friday and Saturday. Paris 2024 and World Triathlon reiterated that their priority is the health of the athletes. The statement said that after the meeting held at 3:30 a.m. Let's look at usually we would say this only happens in Africa, but we see this happening in France. But would you say the organizers were not very cautious or didn't take enough care, knowing that the rains had fallen Friday, Saturday heavily?
I think given the fact that it rained Friday, Saturday heavily, for me, I was expecting the organizers to be proactive and then, test and then make sure everything was in order, so they wouldn't have a need to, postpone any of the competitions. But no, it's also an advantage for the athletes to relax more and then get themselves mentally ready. It's not just in Africa that it's happening. China and also other parts of the world now are suffering massive flooding, given the fact that rain has been falling very, very heavy of late. So we're witnessing this in Paris, and it's affecting a little bit of the competition. It's something that the organizers were supposed to be proactive about and do something, swing into action, maybe immediately after the parade, because obviously that was where they used for the parade and then the opening ceremony of Paris 2024. So after the rain Friday and Saturday, I think by Monday, they were supposed to go test and see and make sure that everything was okay for the Tuesday competition, but that didn't happen. But now, let's hope that everything gets sorted, then the ladies get to, have their race earlier today, and then the guys will have theirs later in the day.
All right, let's hope all the best for the Olympics as it continues. But let's get to the round leader in football, as the Nigerian Football Federation President Ibrahim Gusau is confident that the Super Falcons will make the quarterfinals of the 2024 Olympics Women's Football Tournament, despite losing their first two group matches to Brazil and Spain. Speaking at the 11-time African champions, fell to Alexisias Putellas 85th 10-minute strike in their second Group C match at Stade de Bergerac in Nantes on Sunday. Gusau ruled the team's inability to convert scoring chances, stressing that they can make it to the group by defeating Japan in their last group match today. He said it is not easy to play the world champions, but they saw that how the game went. He said they conceded a goal in the 85th minute and created a lot of scoring chances, but knows that the game is still on, and says the Super Falcons can still qualify owing to what's going to happen today. Do you share the same optimism with the Nigerian Football Federation? After losing two matches, there are no guarantees that we can beat Japan. Japan is no easy team.
Really, Japan is no easy team. I would have been happy if we had started our opener with Japan, because I feel
probably getting a draw or a win.
A draw or a win. But now, this Japan side defeated Brazil 2-1. The team that beat us 1-0. So the Japan side were able to beat them 2-1, and then they won the match flawlessly with 3 points and then 2 goals added advantage. So now, how key is it for the Super Falcons to get to beat Japan? Is very, very key, because we've been saying it time and time again that we have a problem in the attacking force. We create chances and then we don't get to score. So at this point now, it's good that the NFF president has come out to say all of this in pledging solidarity and then trying to fire up the ladies so they can be able to play with much higher intensity and high spirit. So I just hope that we get to see a very, very good amount of football time being played, and then the Super Falcons should come out to play and then take on every opportunities that they have. They create the opportunities, not that they don't create them. They are not awful with the ball, but they are good. But where the problem is for them to score. So I think that should be, their major priority: defend well and also score. And then let them just don't take the advantage of the fact that they want to win desperately, and then leave the back line so super open, where the Japanese guys will be able to now punish us when they get the opportunity to do. So I just hope that the Super Falcons play with the same intensity, and I'm hoping we don't crash out from the group stage.
All right, we're hoping against hope, but we still have some players that still believing that the Super Falcons can make it, as the Super Falcons forward, Asisat Oshoala, is upbeat about the team's chances of making it out of their group in the women's football tournament of the ongoing Paris Olympics Games, despite losing their first two matches after starting their campaign with a 1-0 defeat to Brazil last Thursday. They fell the same scoreline against Spain on Sunday, leaving them with a mountain to climb in their last game against Japan. The Falcons have lost their 2 matches so far, being the only team in the group without a win, and they are yet to score at the tournament. Oshoala, who is 29, is however confident that Nigeria can make it out of the top group. Is Oshoala being realistic? And the fact that we've got Oshoala and others, and they still cannot score.
I really don't know what the problem is with them and not scoring this time, because these girls always know how to find the back of the net.
All right, I think, sorry to cut you short, but we'll go for a very quick break. When we return from the break, discussions on the Super Falcons continue. Stay with us.
Global TV concept is the emerging, brand that everybody must watch. So I subscribe, and I'm prescribing that we must all be ready to begin to watch Global TV.
So keep watching Global TV, especially for updates on agriculture, food, commodities, and without food, there is no great nation.
So please watch Global TV, because it's going to change your life.
All right, welcome back. We're still talking sports right here, and we're still focusing on the Super Falcons as they face the Japanese team today, hoping that they would get the needed result to qualify from the group of death where they played Brazil and Spain. Odi, let's look at the fact that, yes, they considered 1 goal each against world champions and Brazil, some of the best teams. Is there a guarantee? Is there a likely chance the Super Falcons might find their scoring boots against the Japanese? Probably because the Japanese, they've won one of the matches, so they will not be so, tensed facing the Nigerian team. They will not bring all their arsenal against Nigeria.
I really hope that happens, because if the Super Falcons should play a laid-back Japanese team, and then they bring in their scoring boots to maybe they didn't take it to Paris. So if they found a way and then someone shipped it down to them to Paris, then we should expect them to score some goals and then win the match. So that's if the Japanese side are laid back. But if they are not laid back, notwithstanding, we'll be expecting them to still, come out with that same firepower to be able to score. Looking at the Charlotte, Kalu, and the rest of them, Azizat, all of them, these girls are doing amazingly well for their club side. So I'm just, wondering what is actually happening. Is it that it's the biggest stage? They've been in different stages of, their career, where they are even 9-time African champions and then, Champions League winners and league winners for their club side. So I'm expecting to see an amazing football being played, and then they should clinch every opportunity because it's very key. Like I rightly said earlier, I'm just hoping we don't crash out from the Olympics because, with the experience and the star quality, the quality we have in the Super Falcons, and the fact that we've not gotten to the Olympics in over a decade, and then getting there now and then crashing out is actually not something really, really nice. And this ladies, for the first time, them getting to the Olympics, and despite having a good performance and creating chances and not scoring, I'm still certain that they'll have themselves to blame if they don't get to qualify for the knockout stages. So I just hope to see them, bring out different firepower, different style, and then just try to not to concede and then score.
Okay, in terms of pressure, do you think the players or the coach is going to be under pressure into this game? And what should Coach Randy Wardrum be telling the girls ahead of today's game?
I think he should just encourage them and let them know that they can do this, because one, they were able to qualify out of Africa as the only team. So I think they can be able to do so. He should encourage them. And then the aspect of being under pressure, I think they might be a little bit under pressure because the pressure to qualify and then not to just come back home in the group stage, because looking at the table tennis team now, they are probably all back home or have gone somewhere else from Paris to just go relax. But now these ladies might be under pressure to qualify, and if they had done their homework properly in the first two games, maybe 1-1 and then get one draw, at least they'll have 4 points at this point, and then they'll have their head above water. So at this point, even if they get to win or play draw, they'll still have to qualify. So I'm just hoping that they would find a way around this dicey situation, and then back out and then just get to qualify for the next stage.
All right, we hope the Super Falcons will be able to get the job done today as they face the Japanese in their last group match of Group C. All right, let's go to the basketball team, talking about the Tigress, the Nigerian team called the Tigress. So the Tigress point guard Ezine Kalu fired a warning at opponent after spearheading a ferocious defense in Nigeria's 75-62 win over Australia in the 2024 Olympics Women's Basketball Tournament Group B opener in Lille on Monday morning. Winning their first ever game in the Olympic group phase brought so much joy to Kalu, who could barely talk after the game, fired a warning at the next group opponents, Canada and France, telling FIBA.com that the African champions smell blood whenever they are on the court. All right, that's a smelling blood, and that's quite a very strong word. Do you think the Tigress, they're no doubt 11-time African champions, they're beginning to show their dominance on the global stage, because beating Australia, one of the powerhouses in basketball, that should give them good morals to face France and Canada.
Yes, this is the momentum that they actually need to set up for the next stage. And then she's saying they smell blood. I actually, we were all busy here, we didn't get to watch, but when I got home, I watched. The defense was so relentless. They were all, aggressive with the ball, and they actually, like Carlo said, they smelled blood, and then they were just they were like sharks, and they just kept going and going and going. They couldn't stop. So this is a momentum for them now to just, get in, and then now it's just going to tell France and Canada that, okay, we felt these guys are not going to bring us the show, but now they are the show. Now the whole world now is focusing on the Tigress because of the amount of the way they played. And yesterday was just an amazing day because they were just shooting from 3 points, even from deep drive, get to score in the paint and then draw a foul, getting 3 points plays. The girls were very, very aggressive with the ball, and they were showing that yes, we are African champions, and then we are not here to play.
All right, we hope they'll get all the needed moral booster and ensure that they win their next 2 games to qualify to the other stages. Let's talk transfer business now as players are moving from one club to the other. Meanwhile, we're focusing on Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea's latest signing, Tosin Adara-Bioyo, has yet to decide who to represent at the senior international football match between Nigeria and England. London World UK publication Monday wrote that some representatives of the Nigerian Football Federation were in talks with the defender, who is also eligible to play for Nigeria, and hope to convince him to turn out for the Super Eagles. Born in England to Nigerian parents, Adara Bioyo has played at various youth levels for England, but is yet to represent the Three Lions after featuring for the under-19 team 9 years ago. Adara Bioyo is among 7 Nigerian eligible players at Chelsea, alongside Noni Madueke and Kani Chukwuemeka, Leslie Ugochukwu, and Tariq George. All right, quite a lineup of players in Chelsea. They're almost making it a full team.
Yes.
But looking at that, do you think he can make the Super Eagles in terms of the defense line, and also looking at Noni Madueke, Kani Chukwuemeka, and co?
I think he can make the defense line of the Super Eagles, because if you're looking at it now, we don't have aside Aina, aside Trans Ekon, Calvin Williams, the defense line, we don't have people of same quality that are sitting on the bench just in case they sustain any form of injury. So we wouldn't have that same firepower that can come replace. If you look at the Spanish team now, let's digress a bit. Their second 11 is as good as their first 11. So even if the first 11 and a few players in the first 11 are not so, fit or maybe injured or having personal issues and not playing, they have someone who can replace and then play that same role. So I think that is the angle now the NFF and the Super Eagles are trying to look into, and then get someone who is as good as the person wearing the first line jersey. So Tosin Aribo now is someone that has that quality, and then I feel he's going to make a very good fit. But now it's still left for the NFF and the Ministry of Sport to be able to cajole him and talk him into coming to play and represent the Super Eagles. Now, another thing is for them to do their own part, and then him now to have the willingness to come and represent the green, white, green jersey.
All right, for Noni Madueke, any chances of him, do you think he's likely to make it to the Super Eagles, or you think he's one of those players England might steal away from us?
The way I'm looking at him and that his eyes and everything, I don't think he would want to go. He's more keen, and then he's more
English,
yes, and then not just be more English, but I don't think he would want to come play for the Super Eagles, because rumors have it that the Three Lions are beginning to reach out to him already. So now I would say NFF and then Super Eagles, Ministry of Sports, okay, you guys should start talking to him before it will get so late. Because if you look at it now, Mikel Obi came out earlier, just a few days ago, just during the weekend, to complain about the fact that, most of these players wait for England, Italy, Germany to reach out to them. If they don't get to reach out to them when they were still very young, maybe from 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, if they don't get to call up, then they'll now start reaching out to the NFF and okay, by then you're 30, and then you're obviously not having the same, level of play, your prime anymore. So I think these angles now should be the Super Eagles now, the NFF and the Ministry of Sports start reaching out to these players early. Start following them up early enough so that they will know that, okay, these guys really want us. Let's not be that when they are almost washed out, then they'll now bring us let me not, they'll not bring us someone that is, almost half done, and then heading towards the exit gate of retirement to come and play for the Super Eagles, and then we just suffer and then sit here and be having analysis upon analysis on what should have been done better when, things that need to be done are looking at us right in front of us. So I think the Super Eagles and then the Ministry of Sports.
But do you think we should actually, before trying to woo him for the Super Eagles. Should we wait to see how well he's going to do this season? Because playing for Fulham is a whole different kettle of fish. When you're playing for Chelsea, that you're going to be competing and all eyes are going to be on you. Can we wait and see if he's actually that good?
I think he's good because for Chelsea, Chelsea is a very big brand, aside the fact that I'm a Chelsea fan. Chelsea is a very big brand, and then he was performing well with Fulham, and then he has the potential to be in the North London and as well improve and then get better. So let's see what happens. From the recent friendlies that have been playing their tour in the US, he has been playing well, but the tactics of Enzo Maresca now is just keeping them at bay, where they keep losing and losing and losing. So I feel we would see a whole lot of changes that would happen. And then for Tosin now, I feel Tosin has what it takes to be in the Super Eagles.
All right, so we're hoping that Tosin would get it right for the Super Eagles and Nigeria. Still talking transfer matters, and let's take you to Italy, where Napoli are reportedly ready to engage in talks with Chelsea over a player plus cash deal for Victor Osimhen this summer, as the Italian club seek solutions for the Nigerian striker situation. The Blues have been on a spending spree this summer, with Enzo Maresca overseeing a significant squad overhaul at Stamford Bridge. New signings include Tosin Adarabioyo, Kian Dewsbury Hall, Renato Viaga, alongside promising young stars Omari, Kellyman and Caleb Willie, and we've got a Maguire from Barcelona, and we've got Brazilian wonder kid Stavro. He's also set to join from Palmeiras next year. Despite these acquisitions, Chelsea are still in the market for attacking reinforcement, while Aston Villa's John Duran and Leeds Jonathan David have been linked with moves. A potential deal for the long-term target Osimhen may now be on the cards. One day looks like he's going to Paris Saint-Germain, now he's looking Chelsea. Do you think Chelsea really wants Osimhen? Because now we're looking at player plus cash.
All of these angles have been looked into by Manchester United, PSG. I think Arsenal didn't talk about player plus cash movements. Now Chelsea now is like the last guys now, aside from Al Ittihad, that also want him, but I would definitely say no for him to go to Al Ittihad. Is the money good? Yes, the money is superb if he's moving to Al Ittihad, but will he get that recognition, and then would people get to see him, watch him play very well? I don't think he will get that in Saudi Arabia. But looking at Chelsea now, cash plus player swap, I think that's a good deal, because I think they should even swap Jackson, Jackson plus cash to Napoli. Or to
Napoli wants him. That's another
thing. That's another thing. Maybe Ukraine or somewhere. He should just go somewhere that is not Chelsea and then play. Player plus cash is a very, very good deal if they would reach and then meet the terms of negotiation between Napoli and Chelsea. At this point now, it just boils down to what Napoli would finally decide, because the clause now you see around £110 million plus player. That's so much. So I think if they can probably come down to like £80 million then plus player, I think Chelsea would be able to handle that. Looking at the fact that Lukaku now is someone that Antonio really, really wants, and then he wants him to get to Napoli.
All right, we'll still come back to transfer matters after this very quick break. And let's pay some bills when we return. We'll be looking at what's happening in Arsenal as Riccardo Calafiori has signed a 5-year contract with Arsenal and joined the squad in Philadelphia today as Arsenal continues their pre-season tour. That will be after this break. Stay with us.
Are you a food lover? Do you care about your health and nutrition? Are you interested in exploring the diverse culinary traditions from around the world? Then look no further. Introducing Lunch Global on Global Television, a show that takes you on a delicious journey through the world of food, nutrition, and diet. So, whether you're a seasoned foodie, a health enthusiast, or simply curious about the world of food, Lunch Global has something for everyone. Tune in Mondays to Fridays and let your taste bud take you on a journey of flavor, culture, and discovery on Lunch Global. Bon appetit!
We are today making sure everything going smoothly. Let's move on with taking to Arsenal, where Ricardo Calafiori has signed a 5-year contract with Arsenal and joined the squad in Philadelphia today. The deal for the 22-year-old Bologna defender, who can play at centre-back or left-back, is worth around £42 million. It ends weeks of speculation linking the Italian to the Gunners and is the first addition for the Mikel Arteta squad this summer. Calafiori was a key player for this last season for Bologna, the Serie A team securing Champions League qualification for the first time in 6 decades. He then shone in Italy's Euro 2024 campaign, starting all 3 of their group stage matches. It looks like Arsenal is changing their narrative. They don't longer price and price. They just price and pay, and they're buying very tough players. It's like they're beginning to see that they need tough players, not softer, better players. Because as an Italian, we saw him during the Euros. He was fantastic for the Azuris. How much do you think he's going to bring? He's going to bring to the Gunners?
He's going to bring a lot to the Gunners because, one, he's an Italian who is very, very strong, and he can play from the centre-back and then left-back as well. So he's a versatile player who can be able to, enter in and then fit in real quick. Talking about strengths, now, if you're looking at Arsenal, most of the players that they have is from the academies who are really good, and then, or they just get younger guys from other academies or someone that is just, coming up. But now, I think Mikel Arteta has figured it out that, okay, for me to be able to get to the top and finish strong and not wait for next season, I need to get key players that are very strong and that can put in the work and put their body on the line. He has someone like Declan Rice now who is literally doing everything, putting his body on the line and then playing very, very strong football. So with this defense setup now of Calafiori, I think it's actually going to help more, and then he wouldn't have so much worries on the defensive end. And then looking at his midfield and attacking power now, yes, I think they should find, though they've gotten another striker, but I think they should get someone else that could be able to play from the right-hand side, just in case Bukayo Saka is not going to be around, someone that has the same agility and firepower and then skillfulness to be able to navigate break defensive line and create opportunities for himself to score or for his teammates. So I think with all of this new recent approach with Mikel Arteta, I think Arsenal might not wait for next season
to win.
Series.
They might win.
They might win.
All right, let's see how that pans out as the Gunners are beginning to shop for very quality players ahead of the new season that it's coming really soon. We've got barely today. We've got 16 days to the start of the new season. Meanwhile, let's let you know that Kenan Dewsbury Hall is closing in on making his own official debut for Chelsea in the preseason, while Nicholas Jackson Samodi's friend, is also believed to be nearing his first appearance of this United States tour. Dewsbury Hall is ahead of schedule after picking up an ankle problem at the end of last season when Leicester won the championship title under Enzo Maresca. The £30 million midfielder, now united with Maresca, has since impressed Chelsea's coaches and has been doing additional running drills after training. The club do not want to rush back their summer signing and have been erring on the side of caution. Chelsea are set to face Club America in Atlanta today when they discover if Dewsbury Hall is deemed fit enough to make the minutes on the bench. Let's look at Chelsea. Enzo Maresca brought in some players from Leicester, and it looks like he's going to Chelsea. Do you think we're likely to see what happened to Chelsea last season, where we had Pochettino had almost 10 new players in his team, and it took him quite a long time for him to figure out his starting level and for the team to gel? Is Maresca almost going to make the same mistake again?
If Maresca continues on this path that he's taking, right, he's been losing drastically, poorly, from all of the US stores. I think just one win, that's what they've had. And then they've lost, the last loss was devastating, 4-1 against Celtics. Can you imagine that? Celtics losing 4-1 against Celtics. And you want to make it in the Premier League. See, if he continues like this, there is no how he would even, make it to top 10. Just in my suffer relegation, because now he's bringing up new players, back to back, and then you've not even settled with what you have. Looking at what happened with Pochettino in the previous season, he was able to figure out, okay, at some point we figured out that it was injuries that was his problem. The moment most of those players started coming back from injuries, then Chelsea started getting better. Now these players are healthy. Now you're not even using them, you're using new guys that are not even familiar totally with the other teammates, and then starting them ahead of the guys that are like the team guys. So now all of this is that if he continues like this, I trust Chelsea. They had them sack coach. They will fire him, get someone else who would come and take care of the job.
All right, let's hope the very best for Chelsea. Let's move on to Old Trafford, where Rafael Varane has officially signed for Serie A club Como following his exit from Manchester United this summer. The 2018 World Cup winner left Old Trafford as a free agent on June 30th after the Red Devils opted not to trigger an extension on his contract. Varane's departure is one of the several significant changes at Manchester United this summer, with co-owners Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos revamping the club's staff structure and bringing in new stars Lenny Yoro and Joshua Zazi for a combined £88.5 million so far. The Frenchman arrives in Como just a week after former Arsenal, Chelsea and Barcelona great Cesc Fabregas was announced as the club's new manager following their promotion back to the Italian top flight last campaign. After more than 2 decades outside Serie A, Como won promotion by sealing an automatic place on the final day of the season. Como, are they taking chances? First of all, they're taking a manager, looking at Cesc Fabregas and now Rafael Varane. Do you think Varane still has that touch as one of the world-class defenders?
I know maybe they got him. I think they got Varane because of his experience.
Okay.
So now, looking at that angle now, Como have a whole lot of young guys that can, learn from Varane from his experience, because he has played in elite clubs before. He's a World Cup winner, and then he's super experienced. So looking at his Fabregas now, who, we've not seen his coaching skills,
yeah.
And then we don't know what he can bring to the table. So I think they are just trying to, figure out what route they will take and then rebuild, because Como now is actually rebuilding because they are just, 'coming in back to the Italian league. So now this is something they are going to do. And then if they are able to, bring in new stars, Lenny Yoro and Joshua Zazi for a combined £88.5 million so far, the Frenchman arrives in Como just a week after former Arsenal, Chelsea and Barcelona great Cesc Fabregas was announced as the club's new manager following their promotion back to the Italian top flight last campaign. After more than 2 decades outside Serie A, Como won promotion by sealing an automatic place on the final day of the season. The Frenchman arrives in Como just a week after Arsenal, Chelsea and Barcelona great Cesc Fabregas was announced as the club's new manager following their promotion back to the Italian top flight last campaign. After more than 2 decades outside Serie A, Como won promotion by sealing an automatic place on the final day of the season. The Frenchman arrives in Como just a week after former Arsenal, Chelsea and Barcelona great Cesc Fabregas was announc they have a successful season, I think they will get more big players, that can also get them back into the Champions League. Because I know now that would definitely be one of Cesc Fabregas, wishes to, finish as one of the top flights in the Serie A, and they as well find their way all through to the Champions League.
Did Manchester United get it wrong by not extending his contract?
Looking at Manchester United's team now and the defense, we all know that they are rebuilding and trying to revamp the whole stadium, the Old Trafford. But I think, letting Rafael go at this point, I think it's not totally good because they've not gotten a replacement for him. And Manchester United suffered last season because of bad defensive line. Harry Maguire wasn't totally Harry Maguire last season, so we don't know what to expect from him this season. So let's hope that this doesn't really bite them so hard in their in their defensive line.
All right, still talking United story. Let's let you know that Manchester United have moved a step closer to demolishing Old Trafford and creating a new state-of-the-art stadium that would overtake Wembley as the biggest football ground in the country. News that the United grand plan is moving ahead and could be announced by the end of the year emerged on the club's US tour in Los Angeles, where they faced Arsenal at the Sophie Stadium at the weekend. The spectacular complex built by Arsenal and LA Rams owner Stan Kroenke at a total cost of around $5.5 billion is one of the number of stadia United have studied as they create a blueprint for the new Old Trafford. Looking at clubs when they rebuilt, we saw Real Madrid, we saw Barcelona do that. This was one of the things Ronaldo complained about. So do you think probably Ronaldo was right in his comment?
Ronaldo is a world-star player who always wouldn't just say something if it's not very key and then very important. So I think this is a good approach by the Inos and Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe, because just this past season, even when matches are going on, when he starts pouring, he gets to the fans and then everywhere gets flooded, even down to the locker rooms where they change, and during their dressing room, everywhere gets totally flooded. So I'm hoping that with this plan now.
All right, sorry to cut you short. My producer says we have to run in for a very quick break and pay some bills. When we return, TalkSport continues.
Frankly speaking, it is now time for Nigeria to see that global TV has come and has come to stay.
Just 1 year. This is a plus for global television.
My take on global TV presence on DSTV, first of all, I must say, is a great feat. And in this new age, it takes technology to take over.
I believe that global TV coming into the arena will change the context of international broadcasting in Nigeria.
But I believe that global TV has come not just to give us anything but the truth and the valued information that we need at hand.
I think global TV presence will make a very great difference among all other channels. Their presence now on DSTV stations is going to make a very lot of difference among others.
Really believe.
right, welcome back. We're still talking sports. We have 10 minutes to quality wrap on today's edition. And Zulu said we've got 10 minutes more. Now she says it's for. All right, let's get to Mason Greenwood's story, where Mason Greenwood opened his account for Marseille on his first appearance for his new club following his £30 million move from Manchester United. The 22-year-old secured a permanent exit from his boyhood club, having spent last season on loan in La Liga with Getafe after it was mutually agreed his future lay away from United following his previous arrest in January 2022. Meanwhile, Greenwood has been linked up with former Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi at the Stade Velodrome. The French side continued their preparations for the upcoming season with a clash against second division side Pau FC, and Greenwood was on hand to give his outfit an early lead. The forwarder lashed onto a loose ball in the area before showing tidy footwork to evade a couple of defenders ahead of a strike which leaped over the stranded goalkeeper, thanks a bit of luck from a deflection. And also just to add to Greenwood's story, we have the story about Kobe Bryant. Almost saying Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is late. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Also, let's talk about Kobe Manu. Isn't on Manchester United pre-season tour in LA as he rests after the Euros, but that didn't stop the teenager midfielder turning up at the iconic Venice Beach while on holiday. Manu was a guest of Venice Beach FC, a club that built a soccer court for kids to play on the beach and has grown to such an extent that they now have Nike sponsorship. The United star was following the footsteps of Ronaldinho, Kylian Mbappe, and Vinicius Junior and Eduardo Camavinga. Manu, wearing his trademark bucket hat, was presented with his own custom-made shirt. He posed for the kick out on the beach with some local youngsters. Let's first of all, Greenwood looks like he is getting, every time he goes, he's always calling. Do you see him probably regretting selling him?
I think I see him returning back to the Premier League, but I don't think he's going to be returning back to Manchester United. You know, maybe he might find himself in Chelsea or Liverpool, even Man City. You know, he might be one of those teams, but I don't think I see him coming back to Manchester United. So I know Zulia doesn't have chills now and she's about to kick us all out of the studio. But for Kobe Manu now taking the steps of this great Ronaldinho, Kylian Mbappe and the rest of them, it's just amazing to see how much he's doing. Despite his rest time, he came out to support younger kids to play. So we're hoping to see him get back to what he was playing like in Manchester United before the season ended, and then get to perform more. A sad one for Ghana for losing a great player like that.
All right, just to let you know, before we call it a wrap, Rafa Nadal has revealed he will make a decision whether to retire from tennis after the Olympics. His singles defeat by Novak Djokovic. Nadal fell to a 6-1, 6-4 loss to his longtime rival on the Paris clay. Between the two titans. So that's where we're going to draw the curtains on today's edition of the program, Talk Sports. Odi, any final words?
Yes, we just pray and then support the Super Falcons as they take on Japan today, and hope that they get to qualify for the knockout stages. So that's just it. And for the Tigers, good fight, girls. Let's keep going. Get us the next round.
All right, that's how quality wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sport on Global Television. My name is Anthony Mamodu. Good morning.